In the interest of time, forego my background, and folks can just take a look it up if they so choose. Um, Good evening, and I agree with Tracy, Sonia, Terry, Edwin, Neil, and Diane. And I'm here tonight to encourage us all to fight for the future of this country and our community. The late Dick Gregory, one of our elders and a friend that we would bring to town in New Jersey every year for our Kwanzaa celebration, used to say that when white America has a cold, black America has pneumonia. And some of us are sick, while those of us tonight who are sick and tired, we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. When people fight with all of their might to suppress our votes, we should be concerned. This battle is about policies, police practices, safety net programs, politics, and our future. When folks are frustrated in our community and talk about this election being about the lesser of two evils, we have to shed light and provide a roadmap for them in the midst of their darkness. As Dr. Loretta Ross from Smith College has said, quote, laws and policies are only as good as the people make them be. We must fight in every arena and use every tool in our grasp to get our human rights respected, end quote. We're choosing between hope and harm. We're choosing between public safety and law enforcement. Today, I mentioned to a group of brothers that I was doing this talk this evening, and one of them gave me the look. And it was the look that said, I don't know, Dr. Davis. It said, I'm not sure about her. It said, I don't wanna. And so I just asked him a few questions. I said, don't you have a son who's under 30? He said, I do. I said, do you want him subjected to law enforcement or public safety? He said, public safety. I said, do you agree that all politics are local? He said, yes. Then I asked him, who do you think will deliver the resources to this local community that we live in between the two candidates? He replied, not him, but it's the lesser of the two evils for me with her. And so finally I asked him, what are your options? And he says, I'm voting for her, but I don't like it. And so I embraced this brother. We exchanged numbers and we agreed to keep talking. We all have to put in the work to affect change during these difficult times. It's one person at a time, one neighborhood at a time, one block at a time, and one day at a time. We have to talk to these young brothers and sisters on the street corner, at the liquor store, at church, mosque, masjid, temple, the barbershop, and beauty salons. We must reach out to our networks and our communities, educate people based on the facts while allowing space and grace for them and their emotions. Lead with love and be kind to each other, especially when we disagree. Remember what I want you to remember what I tell myself often. If our ancestors could overcome enslavement, oppression, discrimination, black codes, Jim Crow, and James Crow Esquire, we can learn to become comfortable with being uncomfortable and work our fingers to the bone in the names of our ancestors. Frantz Fanon, the French philosopher, often said, out of relative obscurity, each generation has an obligation to the next generation. We will either fulfill it or betray it. I believe that we've been chosen for a time such as this to secure the future for our children's children. I believe that the Vice President, Kamala Harris, is the candidate who will deliver the resources to help our communities to thrive. In the words of the late Bob Marley, I ask you to get up, stand up, and fight for our rights. In the words of the late Congressman John Lewis, I ask you to be courageous in getting into some good trouble. And finally, in the words of Dr. Lacy Davis, former police sergeant and school principal, there are dark forces in this country that know that our children and the children who are yet to be born in our community are some of the best, the brightest, and the boldest that the world has ever seen. Out of fear and ignorance, some people want to stunt their growth, limit their opportunities, and return us to a time when some of us lack the testicular fortitude to stand up for our community, for our people, for our children, and for Black women. Colleagues and friends and new friends, this will be a fight for our lives. I encourage you to pace yourselves, enjoy the journey, and leave everything on the field. We must agitate, agitate, agitate. In the words of Frederick Douglass, he said that those who profess to favor freedom yet deprecate agitation are men and women who want crops without plowing the ground. You want rain without thunder and lightning, and you want the ocean without the awful roars of its many waters. The struggle, it may be a moral one, it may be a physical one, or it may be both, but there must be struggle. For power concedes nothing without demand, never has, never will. Know just what any people will quietly submit to, and you know the exact measure of wrong and injustice that will be imposed upon you, and these will continue until they're resisted with words or with blows or with both. God bless you. Thank you for the opportunity and honor to come before you. Have a wonderful evening.